when I connect to Maya illusion, it's like I don't want to play the game anymore, you know? I become like not useless, but I don't do anything. It's like, yeah, I don't play the game. And when it's real for me, I play the game of being here on the earth, you know? So I'm like, I think I'm like lost into that space, playing the game or not, illusion or real. This is my question. How there is another way, you know? This is my question.
So when I understand you right, you mean either you rest deep within in this silent knowing of yourself, or when you go out in the world, you kind of seem to lose that silent knowing being of yourself and lose yourself in the play? Lose yourself in the play, meaning being absorbed and so fascinated by the play that there seemingly is no awareness of that silent, transparent awareness in the background, yes?
Yes, maybe it's about that, you know, fascinating, being fascinating by, and also, you know, even when I go outside, I am with people. If I am seeing it's like a game, I don't care about anything. And for example, about the war, I don't care because it, you know, so it's like I'm losing a little my humanity.
Mm-hmm. If you don't care, so to speak, you are most likely in that moment lost in the game. I will explain. We have discovered here many times in our meetings that this loving awareness that we are is not a I don't care awareness, but it's an I don't mind awareness. And it might sound like the same thing, but it's a huge difference. When we don't care, usually the understanding has not penetrated deep enough in our hearts. It's, so to speak, more on the surface level. It has reached a certain depth, but not the depths in our heart. So the mind adopts the understanding that is authentic and that is real. of the knowing of myself as this loving awareness is hijacked in life, the ego comes back through the back door, so to speak, and tries to conceptually apply that understanding that was authentic and real in most cases and translates it back into thought and feeling. And that translation can come about in the, if it's all not real, if this world is just a dream, and what is real is just in this silent, loving awareness, then whatever happens in this dream, I don't care about. It's a lurking confusion, misunderstanding in the mind, because the mind is functioning in duality. It's either or. It's I am either this or I am that. It can never see the totality, the perspective from the infinite consciousness that we are. The infinite consciousness, loving awareness that we are, cares for its own creation. Even it is knowing that it is dreamlike and essentially not real as things. It's a very, very, very common confusion. I call that sometimes, and it's not personal, Amandine, so it's just the mind, how it functions in its duality. It's very important. I call that sometimes non-dual ignorance. When we speak about non-duality, it's very common. We're just coming from Tiro, as you know, where this kind of the world, the body, the nature, it all doesn't matter. I don't care because I am that. End of the story. But we can come to a deeper understanding, a deeper felt sense understanding, and the deeper felt sense understanding sees the world from this totality, from an open heart, and the natural reaction from an open heart filled with understanding is compassion. It's like a warmth, that's why we see in many true sages and saints that they may cry for the suffering of the world or for someone, knowing deep down in their hearts totally that it's just a dream that we're dreaming together. It's a crazy paradox that the mind cannot solve because it cannot cross the bridge to consciousness, as I always say. It can never leave its boundaries of dual perspective, or like this or like that, or yes and no, or care or don't care. So there is a possibility. It's very likely that the mind comes back and hijacks your silent knowing of yourself when you go out in the world, and because it's so used to hijack awareness, mix the ego, the confusion is so used to mix itself with its expressions, with its experience, that this hijacking then makes you apparently not see, not feel that which you know deep down in your heart. And then it may come up with this, ah bon, I don't care. When that happens, that's no problem, no judgment, no, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just the nature of the innocent, ignorant habits of separation in the mind, so to speak. Just see it for what it is. See that I don't care is not the nature of awareness. It's not the nature of yourself. And take it as an invitation to stop maybe for a moment, to see that who is aware of this not caring. See that it is a mind that pretends to be you, that doesn't care, and take a step back, so to speak, and come back to the silent knowing in your heart. And then see what happens. This fluctuating in and out of awareness, sometimes in Advaita Vedanta it's called like the firefly syndrome. You know, the fireflies that put on their lights and they go off again. It's like the light of awareness is there, and then whoop, apparently it's not there. And when it's not there, ignorance, confusion, the hijacking of the light of awareness by the remnants of ignorance takes place. All we have to do, so to speak, is to see through, to expose those moments, knowing and understanding that the light actually didn't go out. It was just for a moment obscured by an old habit of seeing based on the memory of the past. And knowing in those moments and seeing through this old confusion is taking care of that ignorance, that confusion, that hijacking. If you would try in this moment to care, you would put just another layer of confusion on top of the confusion that already has arisen just in your loving awareness that you're aware of. And that's the mistake we usually do by trying to be then in some way or other, where we just have to return to that awareness, which naturally will more and more continuously, this understanding that lands here in those meetings, hopefully, also, will bring about a natural change and less confusion in the mind, and it will accept its role to bow down to the heart of awareness. And from that heart of awareness, the care, the compassion, the natural expression of your loving awareness will find more and more its way into this world. And as long as you try to bring that about by trying hard or being a good person, as more likely, naturally, it will come about.
Mm.
The important thing is to see it impersonally. See it from the perspective of what you are, impersonal, universal, loving awareness. The confusion, the old habit of me as a separate person, the so-called ego, loves problems for its own survival and apparent separate existence. So it will take anything to bring about, to create a problem for us. Like, oh, I didn't care, I'm a bad person, I have to, or something like that. And then we're already lost again in the game. As I always say here, our goodness, our care, our compassion, our love is our true nature. It's not something that we can do or bring about. It will express itself naturally by the removal of traces of confusion, of misunderstanding, and the feelings that come along from this disbelief, from this misunderstanding in our bodies. When the confusion and the consequent feelings are freed back into understanding, into consciousness, you can just be yourself, and it is this loving, caring expression in your avatar, in life, naturally. And this fluctuation in and out of awareness gets less and less and has less and less power to make you sway, so to speak, between me awareness and me lost in the game, in the play as an avatar. For a while, for most of us, it is like that, in and out, apparently. But you have to understand that it's not a true in and out. The loving awareness that you are, the caring awareness that you are, is like the sun that is always shining. And the clouds of the mind, of the maybe hijacking mind of that awareness that express themselves as something different, are just clouds that are apparently covering this awareness. But in reality, the sun didn't come and go, the clouds didn't cover the sun. It is just from the perspective of the avatar, from the separate person, that the clouds were veiling the sun. You are the sun, and your light of awareness was continuously shining. Understanding that will help you to not try to manipulate the weather.